suddenly the onus is on him to get a bonus rather than Mark, which might mean a bit of fishing, or at least rack management. Okay, he's gone for Vogue. Scores reasonably, keeps reasonably. Mark will still be strong favourite in this position. Okay, Mark's already sitting with half. Good Scots word. I'm not sure David's Vogue has changed Mark's thinking very much. Half would fit reasonably in two places. He can choose to block the upper half or simply score the bottom half. Well, that would give away S hook. Although as far as I can see, there's only one S left. Back on myself, see what it thinks. Yeah, it likes the two halves, as it were, to make a whole. It prefers E11. That's simming it. As do I without simming it. Might take quite a bit of time over this move. He's quite steady player, especially over the crucial strategical moves. Only a 20-point lead. I think the question is, does he want to restrict the T hook of tabooed, or does he want to score? Going to the top of the sim is Ulan, E10. Making GU, UH and EL. The two halves aren't far behind. Okay, he's gone for the lower positioning, just taking the score quite reasonably. Just quickly check the sim before moving on to Dave's moves. The sim still likes Ulan, but only by a point or so, not a huge indication there. Right, David has Tautier on his rack. Again, tricky situation for David. He can certainly turn over plenty of tiles, but he may well be better advised to keep more bonus potential while opening. Quackle likes outfit through the F of off. There's not a great deal of score available here, so in which case keeping the bonus potential might be advised. Okay, David's gone for out. He's gone for keeping the bonus potential. Slight problem might be that he won't get a chance to use it. Mark controlled over to keep it. Right, from Mark's point of view, it's a bit of a giveaway, I think, out that David has the sort of rack that we might have with TIRE as a leave. Not necessarily that particular one, but something of that ilk. So Mark will be looking for something which blocks and scores, having a 45-point lead. I can see the option. I've seen some options for Self Plus with Quackle, but I'll hold on that for a moment, let people have a look themselves. There's the possibility of a score from the F of Hoff, but that's extremely bold given his lead. I'd be surprised if he plays it. Quackle is suggesting Lenify, which would be extremely bold.
32.
Other possibilities, Vele perhaps and Lout. I think he might be trying to be much more defensive than that, because Quackle of course won't make any inference about David's rack, which it really should. I'm sure Mark will. Mark's hold positioning NYE, and I imagine that's going down to make Un and Phi. Of course, we can see what David has, but Mark won't know that, although he is probably fair to assume a reasonably bonusy rack.
296243.
Yep, he's gone to score and to partially block the Hoff's spot with a Z word, bringing David back into it. Makes a lot of sense. It leaves the ITA position open, but you can't do everything. Right, David has Gautier. Could have been a lot better for him. Right, David's going for guitar, which scores reasonably, but it's very difficult to see him coming back from that. almost seems to be accepting the loss for less spread. Can't see that's the winning move. Making spread down, but he did have options to keep the bonus potential and have a chance of a comeback. Well, more chance, I think, than that move gives him. Better say it. Right, having blocked Hoff and Hoff's, Mark's now picked Jives, which would have scored heavily where he's just blocked, although it doesn't, of course, make it a wrong move. I think Mark would be quite happy to have the board position as it is and the score difference as it is. And the J and the S to score. You should really only lose to a bonus, which is going to be very difficult for David to get. I can't quite see the 7th tile of Mark. He's got Jives, L, and a further tile. He can score heavily with Jives and South, but that's, again, unnecessarily risky, given his big lead. Okay, Mark seems to be plumping for Jig. It obviously opens up the J, but that's a very unbonusy tile, so it's going to be very difficult for David to bonus through it. No undue risk. And indeed he's played it. Right, David's in deep trouble here. Desperately needs a bonus, and it's hard to see how it's going to come. He should really open up, but that's going to be difficult. Well, it's easy enough to open, but it's going to be difficult enough to open in such a way that it makes it difficult for Mark to then block. 80-point deficit. He's got Pell Rear. Not a great rack for this board.
So that's 265.
323.
Make it 3. Oh yes, you're right. Yeah.
I'll put it into Quackle, although it's notoriously bad at these positions. Piler at I3 is a possibility for a reasonable score, but how it's ever going to get him back into the game, I don't know. Looking for opening moves. Ripe, for example, Ripe and Pout. Setting up potentially Tripe, but again, quite easily blocked.
I think there's 11 left.
Kind of dire straits for David here. David's going for Rep and Pout. Okay, now Rep